Hi guys, back here again for another look at some dolls. If you're new here, this is just the series on my channel where I go over some new or upcoming releases in the fashion doll world and give my general opinion on them. Pretty self-explanatory, so let's go ahead and get into it. As always, we'll be putting our pink magnifying glass over Barbie first. There's going to be some new color reveal mermaids, and as much as I can admit they look much better than the first round, they're still a pass for me. My feelings on Barbie color reveal are no secret. They're not for me, and I don't ever see that changing. There's some new play sets here and there, a baking set, a gardening set, a camping set, some ice cream shop sets, and they're fine, I guess. Again, nothing I'm going to buy, but they're not like incredibly offensive to look at or anything. There's the Winter 2021 Fashionistas, and I think you know what I'm going to say about them. Let's just move on to things I actually have an opinion about, like these new Barbie extras, which will be rounding out Wave 2. The one with the pink braids is probably the best of these three, but I can't say she's giving me extra so much as she's giving chronic back pain from the world's most unfortunate couch. The one in the denim getup is cute, like I do actually see what they were going for and I appreciate the vision even if the execution is sorely lacking, but I do have a staunch anti-Millie face mold agenda in my household, so she will also be a firm pass. Then we have the one in the dress, and I don't think you need me to tell you how to feel about this. I know it's awful, you know it's awful, and you're probably thinking, well, it can't get any worse than this, right? Well, we also have a first look at Wave 3.
Mama, this is garbage. Oh. Right here.
And more than anything, these are perplexing. Even just the obvious decrease in quality aside, I just have so many questions. First of all, why does this one come with not one, not two, but 3 different boxes of cereal? Like, what is happening? But not all is lost for Barbara. We also have some first looks at the Barbie Rewind 80s collection, and I am actually so impressed with these. The Popstar one is bringing back the Steffi mold, which is one of my favorites, and I'm so happy about it. The workout one looks so cute, and I love her a lot. And my favorite definitely has to be the Career Girl doll, who is serving everything I love about classic Barbie. All I can do is beg Mattel to keep moving in this direction because these are so great and actually give me hope for Barbie's future. That's all I really have for Barbie, but I can't finish talking about her without also talking about MGA's upcoming doll line, Dream Ella, for rather obvious reasons. Honestly, Ella is disappointing, to say the least. I was always expecting them to be rather low budget, and I do actually think it's very smart of MGA to move into the low budget doll market, but they're severely underestimating the competition. Sparkle Girls, Budget Hair Amazing, Steffi Love, they all already have a seat at the table, and I don't think they're going to let Ella sit with them. Even for budget dolls, they're just not impressive and aren't bringing anything new. And not only that, but there's just a stark lack of thought put into these dolls. Like, we have career dolls, unicorns, and color change dolls with nothing tying them all together. The business model is literally just do whatever Barbie is doing, and look, I honestly don't have a problem with doll lines that are derivative of other dolls. I think that kind of competition breeds some great innovation, but if you're going to try and compete, you need to elevate your own product. You need to do what they're doing and do it better. When it first became clear that Ella was going to be competing with Barbie, I was excited because I thought this was going to kick Mattel into high gear in order to try and keep up, but I'm sorry, but Ella isn't eating Barbie up. She's barely chewing on her ankles. But moving on. There are some new Winx Club dolls from Witty Toys. They're kind of intriguing. I think the fashions on these are genuinely pretty great, particularly on the Flora dolls. Not the highest quality in the world, obviously, but I can tell that a lot of attention was put into the designs. The actual dolls, though, just look so stiff and lifeless, and the wings also obviously leave a lot to be desired. Hasbro is releasing a Disney Villains doll 4-pack, I assume for Halloween. And from the neck up, these are pretty great. Everything else, I'm not incredibly impressed with, especially for the $70 price point. The fact they took the time to give Ursula an impressively detailed, movie-accurate sculpt just to stick her on a completely disproportionate body would amuse me to no end if it wasn't just insulting at this point. And out of nowhere, Mattel's Hello Kitty and Friends line put out a Kuromi doll, and she's really cute. There's also rumors of a Pom Pom Purin doll down the line as well, and although I'm not really collecting them, I'm definitely not opposed to this line continuing with more releases. They're pretty neat. Enchantimals is releasing a few mermaid-themed playsets, and my personal obsession with mermaids isn't enough to really make me very interested in these. Again though, I just question who exactly is keeping Enchantimals in business. I'm not mad or anything, I'm just genuinely curious. Like, I don't even see them in stores, and until I do these videos, I completely forget they exist, yet they seem to be going pretty strong. Hairmazing officially made a return with their Kaleidoscope collection. This particular collection isn't really my cup of tea, and I was disappointed to see that Emily wasn't made into a doll despite being teased a while back, but I was still just so stoked to see them back. Unfortunately, they seem to have a very disappointingly limited release, exclusively at BJ's, which does not exist in my geographical region, so even though I was happy to see them back, that does feel a bit like a death knell for the line as a whole. But speaking of dolls I won't be able to get my hands on, Cindy seems to be padding out her comeback with a Playline collection. Outside of her brief history with Barbie in the 90s, Cindy dolls were never really on my radar at all prior to the 2020 collector dolls, as an American and all, but I do think these look really cute and I'm definitely interested in them. There are unfortunately no immediate plans for a release outside of the UK though, so it might be a while before I can get one for myself. I'll be keeping an eye out on the brand in the meantime though, for sure. Pullip is going to be releasing a Care Bears collaboration doll, and I know I usually mostly stick to Playline brands on this channel just because that's my wheelhouse, but pretty much everyone has been talking about this doll, and I can see why. I don't collect Pullips for no other reason than I just can't afford them, but if I come across $300 like on the sidewalk in the next few weeks, she would be a strong contender for my first Pullip doll for sure. And yet, last time I said something like that, I ended up buying 2 American Girl dolls within the month. Which, speaking of, American Girl has released a new 80s era mix and match set for Courtney. I really like Courtney's first set of clothes, but this one is quite a bit weaker for me. It just seems a lot less cohesive than her first set, and seems like it's trying to be slightly more mature, but it lacks all the fun of her previous clothes. I don't know, I'm not that into it. American Girl has also been gearing up for the release of their World by Us collection, which, as far as I can tell, is a contemporary line that will feature older characters and tackle more complex issues, particularly on the topic of race, it seems. I personally definitely favor the historical side of American Girl dolls, but I'm pretty intrigued by this line. I think moving into a slightly older demographic will be rocky territory for AG, so I'm curious to see how well it will do, but I do think the dolls look pretty decent, and I appreciate AG's commitment to using dolls as learning tools for difficult topics, so I hope the execution meets the good intentions. Strawberry Shortcake is officially back with an all-new reboot. The first episode of the short-form animated series has already been released, and I have thoughts on it, but I'm saving them for a future video, so stay tuned for that. But I bring it up because Moose Toys of Shopkins, Shoppies, and Failfix fame have been announced as being selected to make the dolls for the revival, so we should be seeing those pretty soon, and I'm kind of excited for it. We'll see. There's going to be a new LOL OMG collector's doll this year in NYE Queen, and I don't know what it is about the LOL OMG collector's dolls, but they never wow me in the way their Playline dolls do. Objectively, she's very, very pretty, but she'll just be a skip for me personally. Speaking of being wowed though, the LOL OMG travel collection. These girls look amazing. Obsessed with the chunky highlights and casual vibe of City Babe. Sunset looks absolutely fabulous, and of course, Fly Girl is everything I was hoping for from Oops Baby's big sis. These three are definitely a win in my book, and I can't wait for them. And now we have Rainbow High, which It has to be said that MGA still has not properly addressed the issue of Rainbow High's lead designer publicly exposing the home address of a teenager, and no apology has, as of the time of recording, been given. If you're confused, please see my last video for my full spiel on this topic, because I don't want that to become the main discussion of this video. But for the time being, I still don't feel incredibly comfortable heavily promoting Rainbow High here on the channel, and yet I also can't pretend like the dolls just don't exist, considering they are one of the biggest brands right now, and it's not like I'm asking for a boycott. So where I would normally go further into detail, I'll just quickly run through them. The 24-inch Amaya doll. Pleased to see that she's an all-new design rather than just the regular Amaya scaled up. The Rockstars collection. Target exclusive. At $50 each, the word of the day is overpriced. The Slumber Party collection. Walmart exclusive. Much more reasonably priced at $35 each, which leads me to believe that the markup of the Rockstar girls is the fault of Target and not MGA, but I digress. They're cute and honestly look a lot better than the Rockstar collection in my opinion. And I know that's kind of a sour note to end on, but that's everything I have on my list for today. As always, thank you so much for watching. Please like or subscribe if you want to see more videos like this one. Now, go out and get those dolls.